Good morning, everyone. It is day 2 of my 100-day series, and it's currently the 22nd of May. Today's Saturday at around 10 a.m. in the morning, and yesterday, I formally introduced this 100 days in a broad scope to you guys about what will it be about and what does it entail. And today, as a Saturday and tomorrow is Sunday, today is technically the end of the week. I plan to use today as a second introduction that will go more into detail, that will help me and you more to understand what the weeks and days following will entail. So, um, today I'm going to I will go to introduce the details of my 100 days, and more specifically, what will it what will the weeks include? For example, Sunday to Saturday, how we're going to divide that up. And so today, I'll show you the structure of the weeks. Next week we'll be going into more detail, and but it will still be it's still going to be the first week next week, so it's going to introduce the topics of research of rethinking and developing for each day. Okay, and so each day will correspond with the weeks following. For example, tomorrow Sunday we'll be talking about my faith, because Sunday is the Lord's Day, and so all Sundays will follow that. For example, Monday I talk about this, and then all the Mondays after I'll talk about that thing, and it will and so each corresponding Monday it will have things to update on that. But it's not just Monday going to update Mondays, or someday going to update the day prior. If things will link up throughout the week, then it will make sense to link them up. But it will still be all generally um, the same. So Monday's topic will be related to one thing, and next Monday will be related with the same thing. I personally believe it is important to have a structure to things. That way it'll help me with my train of thought, and it'll help you guys as well. After all, that is why I am a business major, right? So on Sunday tomorrow and all the Sundays following, I'll talk about my faith and any updates to it, because I feel that it is a continuous relationship with God. Um, Furthermore, my family created this thing by the grace and wisdom of God called the Rock Christian Fellowship. That is the RCM, and the goal is to implant the rock of Christ, because Jesus is our rock, into the lives of people, right? Because nowadays we see many Christians just floating around and not really deep in their faith, right? They say they're Christian, but they might even have a tough time um, believing that themselves. Um, okay, so I have been and will be a lifelong Christian. Always following God in my actions, as you will see it being reflected here. And I believe that I should follow a sanctified life, and just believe in asking God and have faith. For I know the plans that He has, for I know that He has plans for me, right? So that's just a brief intro onto the faith portion on the Sundays following. It's like about, I don't know, like 9, 10 Sundays coming up. And then you have Monday to Saturday. That's 6 days, and I'm gonna split that into two sections: half for rethinking, half for development. Right. Um, those and just like a quick recap, right? Rethinking. So I'm in college right now. I'm going to be rethinking what's next. Next 2 years. What am I going to do? What position? What is my role in the world and this community and in the family and myself. And then developing will be developing things on that, like developing my nutrition, my health, right? My physical activity, developing my skills developing my soft skills, right? My hard skills. I think that's important. Um, so the first 3 days, we'll say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, will be focused on rethinking. And if you think, you got to put some action to it, right? And then so Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be focused on the development portion. Today I'm going to introduce the first components of rethinking. That is the second half of college and beyond, in terms of my major and internships, right? So here you go. So currently, in college, the wide range, like 99% of the people that you see are. All right, I'm gonna quickly go into the workforce after college, right? Graduate, quickly go into the workforce. Think about career and then start working. Start going into the workforce. Start being an employee, right? Um, but is that? But to me, that thought sort of occurred to me, that rethinking that, is this all that college is about, just to equip you with tools for your job? I mean, yeah, I mean, it's some part, but that shouldn't what it all be about, right? The things that we learn in college, is it just for working in someone else's company? What about your family, right? What about your future life? What about the family that you will create? Um, Therefore, this rethinking portion of my 100 days is pretty unique. Is that I will use this time to experience my own quote unquote um, internship, right? This is my own internship, right? And I'm sort of spinning, redefining the internship definition, because I can develop things, or attempt to develop things with my family and myself as well. Does it have to be someone else's internship to qualify, right? I know some classmates who even change their majors to fit that of the internship that they're not even interested in, just to have a higher chance of being hired or working after college, right? A slightly higher chance, even. Or it might even hurt them, right? Um, but now I can, for this 100 days in this, relatively low risk, high reward, I can internship for myself in my family and community based on what I learned, and what I am learning right now, through God and my family. So that's a brief introduction to this rethinking portion, right? And one of the things that I will do, um, is tasty community. That's something that my family does, is for to bring people outside their homes into an actual community. Sure, we have communities all over the place, but they're not really communities, are they? Right? Because right now it's in COVID, and you know, all things change, right? Including restaurants. They're lacking customers. They're lacking people, basically. Just, can we help them, right? And one of the things that we are doing is, um, trying to redefine a local, noodle house, right? It's almost like we're consulting restaurants, right? And that's really helpful to me, because that's exactly the field that I want to go into, you know. So we interviewed them, and they want to hire people, good quality people, but they can't, because no one wants to come out and work, especially in this time, right? So I'll touch on this more in the future weeks, right? But we want to rethink, how to put my family skills into this restaurant, and when we help the restaurant, that helps the community as well, right? And people can leave their house for a purpose and for fun. So that's just a brief overview of the tasty community portion, and there's many things that come up also, rethinking, in terms of helping, the world in terms of carbon emissions. I'll touch on that, perhaps on Monday, so stay tuned for that. I think that'll be very exciting to talk about, and I hope you'll be as excited to uh, listen to it. I think that's all. uh, so yeah, so my self internship, it's like a self, you know from myself, from my major, to myself, to my family, and then to community, right, and to the environment. But that is all I'll touch on for today. And Monday, we'll get going.